He's just 19 years old. He's still got a lot to learn, but I know that Coach Guzdolik would love for him to take his time a little bit more tonight.
Kevin Garnett.
And that's the kind of shot that he needs to get early on. Get to the rim, be aggressive. Don't settle for that 20-foot shot early in the game.
Turnaround by Garnett over Nene. Johnson and Sprewell garnered. They accounted for 81 points. That's 20 more than they did in the regular season.
Well, again, the beauty of having 3 stars as Garnett knocks down the shot is it.
Open court with a short jumper way off. So Andre Miller misfiring. He scored 12 points on good shooting in game 1. Sprewell comes in with the basket. And the Minnesota Timberwolves playoff experience finals while a member of the Miami Heat several years ago.
And Leonard is such a good shooter, Dick. Just 3 for 9 in game 1. So important to get him off early.
And Sprewell trying to loop it up with Cole. Sprewell open for 3. He
might not show up in the game, but he might get about 30 points. And he's so important again for Denver.
Sprewell a 3 and hits, and he had Leonard all over him. In fact, Leonard did not. The last 16 points for the Denver Nuggets. With the Orlando Magic, here's Derek Martin, who was rejected by the Denver Nuggets. Came to Minnesota. Sprewell with a 3. Anthony will inbound. Up in a quick short, and that'll do it. Playing a lot more solid, but still trailing the Timberwolves by 1, 28-27 after the first quarter of the second game of the best of 7. Along with Doliak, and here's Carmelo Anthony, and there's Boykins on the other side. He has a screen and a block by Garnett. Only 2 shots in that first quarter. Here's Zerbiak with contact, no foul called, and the follow by Kevin Garnett.
Let's take a look at Kevin Garnett. There's a screen set by Doliak. He still blocks the shot. That's incredible, jumping over the 6'10 Doliak.
40 on the clock in the first.
Well, I think Flip Saunders is probably happy right now, too, because he really got his bench involved in this game. Game 1, they didn't play much. Game 2, they've done well and given the starters a good rest.
Here's Hassel on the run, banks it in. Turnovers that have hurt Denver in this sequence.
Well, and finally, Mr. Hassel getting into the action. 8-point lead for Minnesota.
As the T-Wolves have turned up the heat, here is Garnett. And Irvin Johnson getting the offensive rebound. Sprewell for 3. And he hits another one. 5 for 5. And it's an 11-point lead.
I tried to evaluate my season, try to go up. I have to credit to the guys around me 100%. It's not like 60-40, 50-50. Continue to do what you do. You know, be relentless on bounds, you know, help on the weak side, you know, be the leader, speak up, you know, things like that. Do that. I just have a better team around me.
Conference, but Minnesota wants to slip through this Denver team fast because they know that the Kings and the Mavericks are going to probably have a really big slugfest, and the block made by Kevin Garnett.
To get him open and get him a shot.
Shooting leaves a lot to be desired, so quarter or not all because of defense. Here's Sprewell hitting the jumper, a 2-pointer for Sprewell. He has 19.
This is the playoffs. You're playing against great defensive teams, so everything changes.
How about Memphis averaging 96 points and going against San Antonio, barely getting 70. In the corner, that is field goal by Garnett, who has 10 points and a 15-point lead. 5-44, an 11-point lead for the Timberwolves. Sprewell, who had a very hot first half. Basket counts and a foul. Going against the grain is Latrell Sprewell.
And on the drive, Leonard struggling to stay in front of him, just gets a hand in there. Maybe a little push down low. Sprewell knocks it down. Thank God somebody's making a shot in this game.
That's why you hear that even back then, even back 19 years ago. And the 3-point shot by Latrell Sprewell, 25 for Sprewell. He has 6 from beyond the arc, 6 of 7.
And Dick, not only one of the 50 great players, but I would say top 10 in terms of nicknames ever played.
Yeah, the Iceman and fans came to see him. And what about
Nelson doing a nice job of popping free under the hoop. Denver in pretty good shape here.
Well, when I gave those numbers before about Michael Jordan in the second game as Garnett goes in and is fouled, the point was that he did other things. Andre Miller missing the layup, and that was deflected. That was 15 rebounds for Garnett. And there is Sprewell getting a rebound. And they will take a 16-point lead, or 12-point lead, 66-54 into the fourth quarter.
Record in the Western Conference. We are the #1 seed. I don't want it to change at this point in the season.
Who would complain about that? To have three players like that. And Zerbiak coming off the bench and getting the lay-in on the fast break. Dean. But he hasn't played as much because they have used Rashawn Leonard and Andre Miller a lot more than they did in the opening game.
Well, Jeff Guzdolik talked about his players being situational guys as Garnett scores easily.
A couple of game threes, the Nets and the Knicks, with New Jersey leading 2-0, and the Grizzlies come home for their first playoff game ever in Memphis as they go against the Spurs.
Here they were. This was it.
Garnett looking for Zerbiak, driving into the basket, gets the hoop and the foul. There's Zerbiak, and the bench coming into play once again. Zerbiak with 8.
Well, this is a play that Minnesota has run for years. They hit Garnett at the high post, then set a little back pick for Cassell.
Blocks when they need it, and that's why those clubs are maybe not talked about so much, but will be factors, you can be sure.
Well, in my mind, those are the two best players in the game right now by far.
Garnett.
In this case with Denver, because there's such a high intensity team in terms of trying to get out in the fast break. So much easier to do that at home, especially in the high out.
Under 5 minutes remaining in the game. It's 83-65. Garnett with a pass to Irvin Johnson for the lane.
And he's now 1 assist shy of a triple-double. So about the court vision of Garnett. Receives the pass, sees Nene helping off of Irvin Johnson. Finds his teammate for the easy
place in the West. They led the Midwest Division for the final 3 months of the season. So they pretty much had things their way all year. Sprewell with another 3, 7 of 8. Long-range baskets tonight for Latrell Sprewell. He has 31 points.
Early on, we're stop Sam Cassell and get some rebounds. Well, they've done both of those things, but they haven't contained this guy who's just been on fire. He's still got Cassell, Sprewell, and Garnett on the floor. 15-point lead. Maybe he's watching the Milwaukee-Detroit game earlier.
And there is Garnett with the reverse lane. 20 points for Garnett, 21 rebounds, and 9 assists.
Guys, just unbelievable. Crowd chanting MVP. I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion, isn't it?
Cassell, and an assist from Garnett, and he's got the triple-double. Kevin Garnett, his 3rd career playoff triple-double, 22 rebounds and 20 points, his 10th assist, and Oliver Miller will come in to replace him in a hand. 3rd career playoff double for Kevin Garnett, and this is coming off a 30-point, 20-rebound effort in game number 1. If anyone ever put an exclamation point on the letters MVP, this man is doing it. The vote was in, of course, as you know, before the playoffs started. 27 points here in the 4th, and a lot of them after this game well decided. Final seconds, tick down, and it's all over. The Minnesota Timberwolves getting a great effort from that man, Kevin Garnett. 3rd career triple-double in the playoffs, and a great performance by Sprewell with 31 points tonight. And they did it again, and Kevin Garnett had a brilliant game. Right now, let's send it to Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Magic for Inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai, for all of the post-game reaction.